Humans of the Cardboard. Final video for updating what we missed over the past week here. We are looking at the brand new Malice Archetype. This is so hype. This has definitely been the most hyped up archetype so far out of the new deck build pack. Just based on the initial announcement, artwork, and basic description, everybody was most excited about this one for sure. It is a link deck. It is Cybers based. We're going to take a look at it here. It has quite a bit of interesting stuff going on with it here, but I think this one's going to be a fan favorite for certain. So let's get started here with the main deck monsters here. Plus, by the way, Chris is totally back. Chris has been on the channel before. He's a good buddy of mine that I duel with all the time. He was a big Trickstar player, and then Trickstar has been unplayable for a while. It wasn't my favorite when he played Trickstar, but I think this deck's going to be a little more fun than that overall, at least to play against. But he's totally back. This is an archetype he's going to love. So yeah, if you love Alice in Wonderland, this is what this is based on. You'll see some of those tie-ins here. All right, so it's a cute girl archetype. It's a waifu archetype. It is what it is. A lot of people don't like this, but a lot of people surely do. So here, this is Malice Pawn White Rabbit. This is based on, I guess, the rabbit at the beginning of Alice in Wonderland, who's late to the queen. Yeah, you can see the clocks here. It's a girl. It's White Rabbit. Yep, makes perfect sense. It is a level 3 Dark Cybers effect monster, 1200 attack, 300 defense, weak stats, and its first and third effects are hard once per turn. If this card is normal or special summoned, you can set one Malice trap from your deck with a different name from the cards in your graveyard. Okay, cool. That's a +1. It is a slower +1 because it's setting instead of, and it's setting a trap rather than grabbing a spell or something, but still a +1 regardless. Second effect, you take no battle damage from battles involving Malice Link monsters that point to this card. Cool, little bonus effect. That's got to be the icing on top effect, and it definitely is. And the final one, if this card becomes banished, you can pay 300 life points to special summon it. Also, you cannot special summon for the extra for the rest of this turn except Link monsters. This is the main gimmick of the archetype here. You'll see is most of the cards in the archetype, when banished, come back in some way. And that's going to make a lot of players upset as well, which is what I've already seen with the early reveals of this archetype. People are pissed that this is another new good shifter strategy. People are definitely not stoked that shifter seems to have some good potential here. Not only not hurting the deck much, but legitimately helping the deck, making it so much easier to get your girls banished to come back and keep plussing you. It's pretty nice. It makes it so that any of these girls, when they get banished, they're basically two link materials instead of one. So this is a 2 link material card that's also getting you a search for a trap, which is pretty good overall. And it's Cyber, so you have to factor in all the Cyber support stuff, whether it's extra deck Cyber links that already exist, as well as stuff just like Signet Mining. Boom, we already have a Rhoda for the archetype, even if they don't print one, right? So really good. Next up, we move to Cheshire Cat. Pretty basic. Cheshire Cat, pretty famous character from Alice in Wonderland, makes sense. He's another level 3 Dark Cybers. So again, super searchable. 1500 attack, 300 defense. You can only use its first and third effect once per turn. During your main phase, you can banish a Malice card from your hand. Then you can draw 2 cards. That's a pretty cool effect because basically every Malice card you're banishing, I can't remember actually with the spell and traps, at least the main deck monsters, they all summon back as soon as you banish them. So that's not a neg at all. I have to see the spell and traps again to make sure that they actually come back when they're banished. But that seems like a pretty good effect because you don't even lose really the card you banish because it's coming back and you're just drawing 2 for free. Now you do have to open it or have access to a card to banish, but still works. So yeah, pretty powerful effect there. Monster destroy battle with a Malice Link monster that points to this card are banished instead of being sent to graveyard. That's pretty nice as well because it does allow you to run over stuff and just banish them. That takes away a lot of removal potential for a lot of archetypes. And has the same third effect, right? If it's banished, pay 300, special summon it, but you're locked into links. That's another thing that I didn't mention with the first card. The only restriction really on this archetype seems to be that it locks you into links. Not Cybers, not anything else, just links. So generic links are on the table here, and the deck has its own as well, obviously. The last card we have here is Malice Dormouse. I believe this card's artwork and design is based on the mouse that falls asleep in the tea kettle. during the Mad Hatter's whole run through, I think, during Alice in Wonderland. Correct me if I'm wrong. It has been, one, a long time since I've seen Alice in Wonderland. But also, even when I did, I wasn't like, I don't know like the full lore of it. I know there's like the original version is like super dark too, but still. So it's another pawn, Dormouse. But to be fair though, if just the mouse from the teapot scene has its own main deck monster, then there's a bunch of stuff on the table as far as what they can do for more cards in the archetype, right? The caterpillar that turns into a butterfly, some of the flowers that talk, right? Like there's a bunch of different characters that could be made into more archetypal cards here. Anyway, Dormouse, what does she do? Another level 3 Dark Cybers, weak stats. You only use her first and third effect once per turn. During your main phase, you can banish a Malice monster from your deck. Just banish one from deck, sure. Yeah, just banish one of the ones that just come out. Like the one that draws you to, or the other one that gets you a trap. That they rotate really well into each other there. From your deck, also all Malice monsters you control gain 600 for the rest of this turn. Okay, buffs itself and everything else. I like that it's interesting. The way this is worded is really weird. I'd actually be curious on like the exact translation. Is this saying for the rest of this turn, any Malice you summon is going to be buffed by 600, or is it only ones that you currently control will gain 600? I'm curious on like what the actual ruling on that would be. Not that it's a huge difference, but like sure, some of these are pretty small, and like a 600 buff actually could be pretty useful. And the last effect, second effect, Malice and Link monsters that point to this card cannot be destroyed by card effects. That's actually not the worst protection effect. And then if this card becomes banished, pay 300, summon it, and lock yourself into links. 3 really good cards that start you off here. I really like them all so far, honestly. They're all good. For sure. Cheshire Cat requiring you to have another Malice card in hand is a little bit annoying, but it's like not that bad, honestly. And the other ones seem like just straight up starters. Alright, next up you have Malice, Queen Red Ransom. So this is not the Link monster that's on the cover box, but she still looks pretty cool overall. Link 3, Dark Cybers, Link Effect monster. I don't know what she's based on, by the way. I really don't. From Alice in Wonderland, but still cool. She points down, left, and right, so not the best arrows. 23 in her attack. She takes any 2+ monsters, including a Malice monster, again, opening the door for kind of just generic Link spam stuff here, which is really, really strong. You can only use the first and third effect this card once per turn. If this card is special summon, you can add a Malice spell from your deck to your hand. Interesting. We haven't seen any of those yet, but that's really strong, just on summon +1. The original attack and defense of all effect monsters your opponent controls are swapped while this card points to a monster. Any monster. That's kind of cool as well. That does allow certain things to become a little less relevant, right? That have a lot of monsters that have like one big stat, one small stat. It makes it really awkward for your opponent. There. And if this card becomes banished, pay 900, special summon it. Then you can banish a Cybers monster from your deck. That's so crazy. That's such a crazy effect, man. That's actually so wild. Yeah. Okay. Cool. That's really, really strong. It comes back as just a link. So you could link off this after you've searched to just like, link up into something bigger. The firewall links or whatever you want to end on. Then this card comes back if you're just able to banish it from there. And you get to banish another Cybers from deck. So whether it's one of those, Dotscaper's another card that's interesting in the deck. If he's just banished, he just summons himself out. That's another like name that you can just banish. Alright, then for the boss monster, this is Malice, Queen Hearts of Crypter. This is obviously supposed to be the Queen of Hearts. I don't know who she's supposed to be necessarily. Red Ransom. Yeah, she's just the red queen. I don't know. Maybe there's a black queen in here. Right? But anyway, this is Malice, Queen Hearts of Crypter. Dark Cybers, obviously, 2,500 attack. She points down, left, down, right, and up. First and second effects, hard once per turn. She takes 3 monsters. So this one does take 2+ monsters. This one does take specifically 3 monsters to make, but only one of them needs to be a Malice. So still not the hardest card to make. First effect, as a quick effect, you can target one of your banished Malice cards, shuffle into the deck, and if you do, banish 1 card on the field. This effect and its activation cannot be negated if this card points to a monster. Shoo! Okay. A non-targeting banish any card on the field as a quick effect is quite strong. Second effect, if this card becomes banished, pay 900, special summon it, and if you do, its attack becomes doubled. So if you just link this off while it's like, and then get it banished from grave, it's just summoning back as a 5,000 beater. Imagine using this to make access code, and then banishing this off access code to pop a card, and then summon this back and having 10,000 damage on the board. Crazy. All right, cool. All right, one spell here. It's just a field spell. So the girl that searches the spell up above, this is the only spell so far that she can search. Okay, you can only activate one card with this card's name per turn. When this card resolves, banish a Malice card from your hand, deck, or graveyard. Okay, sure. This is basically just E-Telly on summon, or on activation for any of the main deck girls. Cool. Now, I think the one thing here is we're starting with only 3 main deck targets, so once they use their effect, it is a hard once per turn. So I feel like one of the questions with the deck will be like, what happens if we just run through all 3 of our main names, and our opponent kind of waits for that and then hits a choke point? Or something like you know, it plays with that knowledge. Can the deck go much further than that? We'll have to see. Malice Link monsters you control gain 3,000 attack while you have 3 or more banished Malice traps with different names. Okay, 3 or more with different names. That's asking a lot. And then if you control any Malice Link monsters, your opponent's monsters can only target them for attacks. So the idea is if you set up the links pointing at a Link monster or a regular monster, they can't just go after the little monsters. So they're getting the protection effect from the little monsters, and they have to attack the big one first. Okay, that's fine. That's a good feel. I mean, just from the first effect, it's a good card in the archetype, right? But we'll have to see. If it can obviously get better. If we get more Malice cards that do stuff when they're banished, works for me. Okay. All right. So this is a normal trap card. You can only activate one card with this card's name per turn. This is Malice Code MTP07. Okay, I'm sure that'll change name-wise later. Maybe. I don't know. Okay, you can activate one card this per turn. You can activate this card the turn it was set by banishing a face-up Malice monster you control. Cool. So adding a little bit of speed to the traps is really nice. Add a Malice monster from your deck to your hand. Then, if you control a Malice Link monster, you can banish one card on the field. Oh, so even going second, like resolving this into a board going second is also like kind of strong. And it's a quick effect. Like it's still, even on your turn, it's a quick effect. So like you could start your turn by setting this, then normal a Malice monster, and then it's kind of annoying for your opponent to deal with that because you can chain this to like either dodge something with your Malice monster that's on field and like banish something. Well, you'd have to have a Link on field dog to get the banish, but still you can dodge something, search an extender, get the girl back that you banished, and like kind of keep going from there. There's definitely something here. Okay. Oh, so MTP stands for Mad Tea Party. Cool. That's cool. Chapter 7, Mad Tea Party. Very cool. So this is, oh, also the guy in the artwork, the Mad Hacker. I've seen him before. I looked up his effects. He's not really that relevant for the archetype. He still seems pretty terrible for the deck, but whatever. All right, next up here we have Malice Code GWC06. Normal trap, you can only activate one card of this per name. Same thing, you can activate the turn it was set by banishing a face-up Malice monster you control. Again, cool effect. Special summon a Malice monster from your graveyard or banishment. Then, if you control a Malice Link monster, you can gain life points equal to the summoned monster's original attack. This one's not as good. It does give the archetype a way to gain life points turn 1, so it could be like a potential time strategy in the deck. But other than that, I don't know if it's good enough. Only summoning from Banish or Grave. It's not ideal when like all your monsters already summon themselves back from Banish. And even the bonus effect isn't as good. Like the other effect, like banishing a card on field, like that's a legit strong card. Because even if I have to use this on my opponent's turn, this card's searching me follow-up and just banishing a card on field, non-target. So I'm not even that mad about this. This one's not nearly as good an interruption or bonus effect. So I think that one's the weakest one so far. And then the final card here, oh, what does that stand for? Sorry, GWC stands Grin Without a Cat. So this is talking about the Cheshire Cat, which is cool, from Chapter 6. Final card here is Malice Code TB11 Normal Trap. You can only activate one card with this card's name per turn. You can activate this card the turn it was set by banishing a face-up Malice you control. Special summon a Malice monster from your deck. Or, if your opponent controls 3 or more cards, you can special summon a Malice Link monster from your extra deck. Instead, the summoned monster cannot attack or activate its effects this turn. Oh. I can't attack or activate its effects? So what can I do with these things? Can't do anything with these things. Can't use that quick effect. Huh. Can I still use their effects if they get banished and then come back? Is this just when it's on the field? Oh yeah. This is just while it's on field. So if you have a way to like summon them off of this and then banish them immediately, then they would come back. Their effects should be able to trigger and banish to come back, and then, you know, whatever. Use the first link 3 to search a spell. Or sorry, when it comes back, it's already banishing a Cyberse. Then when it comes back, when it actually hits the field, it's also searching you a spell for follow-up. Whereas this one is probably just making its quick effect live to like, it's going to become 5,000, and then it's going to make its quick effect live to banish a card on field. Okay, not bad. I think the first and the third trap are definitely the better ones, for sure. That second trap really doesn't wow me. But everything else I'm pretty into, I think, especially when you just throw it with the context of Shifter. We're going to get to play an insane, maybe the strongest 3 of you can play. Maybe like the strongest single advantage card that you can be playing in terms of like having this card in your main deck as a 3 of that you do not care about is a huge advantage over every other deck in the game. Because and like what we've seen is like a lot of strategies who can play Shifter, they're just not good enough as decks because of design. Unlike if they don't use the graveyard, are they just that much worse than the other decks already? This deck may be the farthest along in terms of like, we're just link spamming. Like, we're fine. We're doing totally fine in our deck. Interesting. Like, do you play D-Fisher? Because it just gives you an automatic way to banish your own Malice monsters. So you can just, like, activate D-Fisher and then just start link climbing. And you're just going to keep banishing your girls. They're going to keep coming back. And then just spam. Like, is that good enough? Like, it might be. It legitimately might be. I honestly don't know for sure. Wow. But, like, really cool archetype so far. There's also definitely room here. Oh, also, where's the break here? You have main deck 15, 16, 17 monster-wise, 18 for the first link, and 20 for this third link. Okay, so there should be a link monster between the Red Ransom and Hearts of Crypter. That should be our missing card that we'll get probably in a couple weeks before the set officially drops in the OCG. I think we're like just over 2 weeks away from that happening, so I think next week we'll probably get the final Apodracosis card, and maybe the week after we'll see the final Malice card. But very cool nonetheless. I think it's cool. It's been a while since we've actually gotten like a legit link strategy that's like actually supposed to be a link strategy by design. Since like the end of Reigns, really. Konami's kind of been shying away from those types of archetypes from what I can remember off the dome. I can't remember anything like super linky since Reigns came out as far as like brand new archetypes. But yeah, this one's cool. This one's cool. It is a Shifter deck. A lot of people won't love that, but I still think it works pretty cool, and it does some pretty cool things overall without being broken at all. I think the deck might struggle a lot with Shifter, with Nib, so we'll have to keep an eye on that as well. Alright, but I am out of here for today. Thank you so much for watching. As always, guys, subscribe to the channel for more news stuff from me down the line, and let me know your thoughts on this archetype. Where are you so far on this? Is it Tier 1 potential, or are you thinking Tier 2, but we'll have to wait and see what the final card does and future support, or are you like Rogue? I really don't think this is worse than Rogue at this point. It already looks like Rogue at worst. So I'm big on that. But let me know your thoughts down below. I'd love to hear that. I will see you guys later as soon as more news comes out. I will bring that to you. I also have some other stuff I want to talk about. But yeah, I'm excited to get back into the swing of things because I shouldn't be going anywhere anytime soon now that I'm back. So thank you so much, guys. I will see you in the next video. Let me know your thoughts and subscribe for more. See you in the next one. Peace.